So starting a new one?
All right. Take 3. I'm Clint.
I'm David.
I'm Jason, but I'm just saying we can maybe say, forget it.
All right. So
hey guys.
Okay, so this is Tellin Stories. However, last time we were supposed to have an episode for New Year's. However, we couldn't find Jason because he was lost in the universe apparently.
I fucked up.
And then whenever he decided to show back up in the world, because like most poor struggling rock stars, he has no phone due to its untimely death after meeting a wall that just had it out.
I got angry and I threw it.
So,
and there's a reason which I will tell you later.
Basically, Jason came to us with an idea to apologize and make it up to you guys by, instead of us doing a quick rush together episode, just doing like a kind of podcast format. We're going to talk and tell some stories today about ourselves. And then next time we'll get back to actually writing our stories and having the stories get told. So this time around, we're going to just
This is my personal gift to you guys who are listening.
We're just going to tell a couple of stories about ourselves and then laugh about it and make fun of each other and not say words like that one word that has made us have to do 3 takes.
God damn it, Steven.
So
he just came in and fucked it up. And I can say fuck.
He immediately came in and was just like, hey, that word that you're going to help.
Yeah.
Just.
Yeah, just immediately. I wish I could do Metalocalypse where they just
Yeah, just. You realize you'd have to hire Jesse and pay him $20 to make a riff that's this long.
Yeah.
For him to use on the. Well, I really feel like this riff should be more metally and a little bit less hardcore. It's like a 1.5-second clip, Jesse. Come on, man.
Jesse.
Go back to playing Assassin's Creed 4. But in his absence, we did in fact record an episode, but maybe one day as a special treat, we'll play that.
They recorded it when I was lost in the world of Dallas.
We had his bandmates come on and do a really rough version of my story that was supposed to get read, and then we ended up just not being able to use it because most of the footage just has a ridiculously intolerable buzz throughout the entire thing.
Which we sat here for 30 minutes before we started this to try to fix it, and it's just no bueno. So we're recording a little bit different sound. But
if I sound quieter, it's because I'm all the way over here.
But I'm feeling pretty confident that I can fix it. If not, then fuck me, and I'm wrong, and I need to kill myself. All right. Okay.
All right.
Okay, so why don't you tell us that story that you have not shared any about? Okay.
All right, so, I will tell you.
So that I can clarify beforehand, the names and places have been changed for the protection of his band.
We should just do that every time before we tell a story. That's real
just
life.
Know that.
Yeah.
All right, so he's going to use... in fact, here's what's going to happen. You're going to have to tell the story, but anytime that there is a name or a place, you're going to have to look at one of us, and we're going to give you the name you're going to use.
Okay.
So... You're going to start telling your story, and when you run into someone that you can't name, because you can say Steven and Mike, because they're in the band. You can say Underdog House.
Yeah, those
but
guys
when
are
you
assholes.
get to the bar, and you explain the name of the bar, you're going to have to look at one of us, and we're going to give you a name of a bar that we're going to make up.
All right.
Oh,
Are you cool with these rules, David?
Yeah, that's great.
All right.
So, go ahead and start your crazy story.
Okay, so the reason why I fucked up is, my band played a show at a place called... Clint.
The Nibble Norm's Tit.
The Nibble Norm's Tits. Rockin'. It's so rockin'.
Sounds like it flips in Harry Potter.
Yeah, Nibble Norm's Tits. That's right in between.
Some indie underground rock club in the Harry Potter universe, which is oh yeah, Hermione, you want to go to the Nibble Norm's Tits later? Yeah, dude.
What would a witch what would be a wizard band name?
A wizard band name?
Yeah.
I don't know, dude. When I was growing up, I remember Harry and the Potters was an actual band.
Harry and the Potters.
Harry and the Potters was a real band, and they only sang songs about Harry Potter, and they would play all their venues that they did.
Expecto Patronus!
No, not at all. They would go and they'd play at libraries, and their songs would be we got to save Jenny Weasley from the basilisk.
Wow.
The entire thing was that they were both supposed to be Harry Potter, and they both dressed like him, and it was just one dude played keyboard and the other dude would play guitar, and then they would just sing, and all their songs were about whatever had happened in the most current Harry Potter book.
So, by the way, if I said Expecto Patronus, or if I said that wrong, I know you guys are gonna fucking correct me later.
I did actually bring up earlier today when we were playing D&D, because we're giant fucking nerds, that you can't
I'm not a part of the scenario.
You can't say Expecto Patronus and just be yeah, Expecto Patronus. It's always going to be Expecto Patronus!
I thought that was the real phonetic syllables.
Every time you say it, you have to scream it as loud as you can.
You can't do it
because Harry Potter has never once been Expecto Patronus. Expecto Patronus! There you go.
All right. I'm coming back over here now.
There's no way for you to say it and not scream it out.
It kind of lit up over there when he said that. That was kind of crazy.
Yeah, dude.
Huh.
Your spirit animal must be like an owl or some shit.
My spirit animal?
Spirity owl.
The sloth? Alright.
A sloth.
Nice.
Yes, my Patronus charm is a fucking sloth. Sorry, Harry Potter shit. The flig, what? What?
Alright, so yeah, anyways, my band had a show at a place called the Nibble Norman.
Oh, the Nibble Norm's tits.
Nibble Norm's Tits.
That was what it was.
It's a place around in Dallas. It's pretty cool. But for that night, what was supposed to happen was there was 2 stages in one room. We were supposed to play in a separate room, but that got changed. I think they're trying to like save like I don't know money by like closing down one side of the bar or something. So we
Isn't there only a bar on one side of the Nibble Norm's
both
tits?
sides
When did they start having a bar on both sides?
for a while now.
Oh, but that's newish. Like since the last time I saw y'all play.
Maybe, I don't know. There's a big stage and there's a small stage in the same room. And what was supposed to happen was after we hauled on all over shit, and we were about to set up on the big stage, and then the sound dude, whose name is
That's my turn.
yes,
Big Bird.
Big Bird,
Got it.
the biggest of birds.
Yeah.
So Big Bird, who we've worked with plenty of times before, he's a super chill dude, super cool guy. Hey, if you can hear me, Big Bird, stay posy. You don't know that I mean you, but just let me know that I mean it with my tone and intention. My intentions are real. Yes, I'm keeping this.
You're keeping in.
I love
You're keeping
that.
in stay posy.
I really like what I'm saying right now.
Oh, wow.
I don't know how I feel about stay posy.
So keep it pizza, bro. Keep it pizza.
That makes me mega negs.
Mega Negs.
Yeah, if posy is a thing, then negative would be negs. So
So
you
negs,
saying
bro.
stay posy makes me mega negs.
I'm about to vomit.
Lego my nego.
Whoa!
All right.
All right. Sorry.
So
Expecto Patrona.
so Big Bird, who's a super cool guy, he comes up to us.
Was he as tall as actual Big Bird?
He's actually he's
A
about
small guy.
he's actually about yeah
He's more of like a Tickle Me Elmo size.
yeah.
But his name is Big Bird. It's an ironic name.
All right, gotcha.
he is as tall
Don't
as the
describe
count.
him. That is exactly.
Yeah.
the
He's as
problem.
tall as
No,
the count.
we're done.
He's as tall as the.
All right, so what did he say to you?
Yo, I feel there's some anger resided over from you missing the last episode.
No, there's no anger.
And let me tell you, I'm about to tell you why.
I think you forgot how.
Because at the end of this story, you're gonna be super sorry for me. You're gonna want to buy me a goddamn pizza.
Is it going to be like an hour long though?
No. All
All
right.
right, so tell your damn story.
Okay. So show fucked up. Our band had to get pushed ahead.
Different stages.
To a different stage, and we had to get moved ahead 2 slots in the set list with the bands to play. So 6 people on a stage that's as small as a fucking bathroom stall does not work out very well. So we had shitty
Do you
equipment.
remember being like in middle school in choir? You know the risers. That's like the size of the stage you got.
It was the worst, dude. It was the worst. So we're in a small stage, shitty equipment because they're not our equipment. Our equipment's all right, but they're like PAs and stuff are all fucked up. So we're playing our set. We're just trying to do the best as we can with it. You know, having a good time. A lot of people I'd never seen before came out and see us. That was cool. But in the middle of our softest song, this fucking band next to us starts sound checking in the middle of our fucking set. I am fucking livid.
What was the name of the band?
I don't.
The name
They
of
are
this band
called-
would have been called the Fire Munchers of Adgorn.
That is why exactly they're assholes because they have a name like that.
The
you don't
Fire
want to
Munchers of Adgorn.
you don't want to call them the Salmon Mothers?
The Salmon Mother? Nah, dude.
Oh, yeah, dude,
Salmon Mother's
this-
a cool name.
yeah, dude.
Salmon Mothers gets to be a cool ass name. Fuck
Yeah,
you
the
guys.
Salmon Mothers.
Salmon Mothers are fucking awesome ass names.
But they would be kind of dicks though.
They would.
Yeah.
Because
So
I mean, they're bears pretending to be people.
yeah. So okay. So Salmon Mothers were sound checking in the
No!
middle of my set.
The Fire Munchers of Agnorm.
And it was a hybrid band. There was like the Polyphonic Spree or whatever.
They're like a polyphonic group.
Yeah. It was just like 20 bands in one. They're sound checking during the middle of the song, and I mean, I'm trying
You
to
don't mind me asking, what song were you guys doing?
Coming Clean.
Oh, like my favorite fucking song.
Oh, thank you.
So you guys are in the middle of like the best song
We're trying to have a moment, basically.
of all of everything.
You know what I mean?
If you guys have never checked out Underdog House or his band, I don't plug him ever, but I will say right now, go listen to the song.
He never
that song
does.
Is fucking
Yeah, you
clean
never-
as shit.
He pretends like you guys don't
Hey,
exist.
hey,
I fucking love that song, man.
we
Straight
should
up.
hang out sometime.
We should be friends.
All right. So yeah. So it's cool. We're having a good time, but then that starts happening, and I mean, we didn't know what to do. It's like we're literally. It cuts to just vocals, and that's it. And then also in the middle of the song, just. the drummer's just fucking wailing like
I would have just like stopped.
like Def Leppard.
just
Def
stopped
Leppard's
entirely.
playing while we're trying to play.
I would have stopped entirely, stepped off stage, so that I could see around. Like I don't know if they're across or if they're like around the bend thing or whatever.
I mean,
but I would have stopped, stepped off stage, and then just looked at them. And been
Well,
like,
yeah, and that's the part what I'm trying to get to is like everyone after was like, "Hey, you should have said something." But I mean, I don't like to be bitter about that kind of stuff.
I don't want to fuck with the salmon.
You know what I mean?
You
I don't.
totally needed to do like a Scott Pilgrim, like
I don't.
"We hate you all" or whatever that
I don't
song
like
is.
doing that though.
We are Sex Bomb, and we're here to get drunk.
I don't
and
like
watch
doing that
Scott
stuff. You
Pilgrim
know what I
kick
mean?
your
Like,
ass.
I mean, there's plenty of reasons like why maybe they were. I mean, there's really not. But I'm just saying, like, you know, I don't want to be that guy because it's like
Because just
I'm there to have
please,
a
this
good-
Christmas. I want you to know.
I'm trying to have a good time. That's all I'm trying to say. So, anyways, that's not even the part of the story. This thing is after that is like everyone's kind of like in a weird funk because like the set was. I mean, we did good. We felt like we
the
did
set
good.
got interrupted.
Yeah, so everything just got weirded out, and like we were trying to like gauge how it went, but we couldn't. So I did what any normal musician would do, and I just tried to forget about it and drank a lot, so I could just forget about it. Then so at the end of the set, I have to stick around to get paid, but everyone else wants to go. I don't blame them because the last band that plays is 4 hours later. So everyone packs up and leaves. My friend whose name is.
You're terrible at this game.
I don't know. Josh Groban.
Josh Groban.
My good friend Josh Groban.
My
My best friend.
my
Josh Groban.
best friend, besties, if I may, is like, hey,
Josh Groban.
yeah, he's like, hey, after I do this piano solo, we can dip out, and
Wait, you can use the names of your act. If you're talking about them, you
no,
can
it's
use
not.
their name. Okay.
No, it's someone
It
else.
is Josh Groban.
Yeah, it is really Josh. It's really Josh Groban.
really Josh
He's like, hey, after I do this, like, opera solo, let's bounce out of here, and I'll take you home. He's drunk too, though. So I'm drunk, he's drunk, and I'm like, hell yeah, sounds like a great idea. So we stick around for 4 hours drinking more, waiting to get paid, and then I finally get paid, and I was like, hey, Josh Urban goes, hey, let's go to this coffee shop down the street. We'll sober up, we'll drive home.
You can say the name of the place that you guys
Bing,
went.
bang, boom,
That's-
bing, bang,
that's-
boom. It's not really that.
But I'm saying you don't have to get a fake name for that place. That place is cool. Like, and you don't frequent it as like an employee, like you do at the Nibble Norm's Tip.
I like giving it different
Fake
names.
names?
Though.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's
you
way
want
more
what? The
fun.
caffeine udder?
The caffeine udder.
The Caffeine Udder.
Utter
Yeah.
caffeine. It was
Yeah.
just utter caffeine.
Utter Caffeine will be the
Because
name
when you
of
go
the
to
place
coffee
that
shop, what do
went.
you get? Just utter caffeine.
Yeah.
Alright, so they
So
went to Utter Caffeine.
I sit down at the coffee bar, and I got a friend who works there, and then and another band wasn't at the show that night was hanging out there. So, freaking Josh Groban's like, "Hey, buddy, I am gonna go get Poon."
That is so Josh Groban.
Yes. He says, "Hey, we gotta bounce. I got some juicy goodness waiting for me
I got
back
some
in.
juicy, stanky ass butt meat.
I got some goose meat waiting for me at home. So I gotta bounce on out of here."
I've never heard
And I
goose meat,
said,
but-
"Hey,"
Sweet.
so I was
I
like-
heard that one.
so I was like, "Yo, dude, I totally get you." Oh yeah,
Josh Groban, we're such best friends.
Josh Groban, I understand. Let me just finish this coffee. All right. So I look down. I'm talking to my friend who works behind the coffee bar. Look back up. Josh Groban's gone. Josh Groban is the fuck out of here.
Dick.
Josh Groban is actually a figment of my imagination.
Josh Groban's past tense.
Got it.
Yeah.
All right.
I don't have a phone. I threw it in a fit of rage after the show. So I'm phoneless, dickless for Michael Chickless. I have nothing. I am stranded. I have my backpack with my tablet, and that's it. So my friend offers, "Hey, it's cool. We're just gonna wait. You can come crash at my place." And I was like, "Oh my god, thank
How
you."
good of a friend of yours is? We'll call this person Nicolas Cage,
Okay.
Yeah.
who works at Utter Caffeine.
We will call her Nicolas Cage.
Okay.
Oh.
So, how good of a friend of yours is Nicolas Cage?
When I say friend, I mean like acquaintance.
Okay, so you kind of
We've hung out a few times. but
Nicky Cage.
You know
Yeah.
Nicky Cage a little bit.
Is that like a Mortal Kombat fighter?
Nicky Cage.
Yeah.
No, it's Johnny Cage.
Okay. He has a sister though, right? Forget it. So Nikki Cage is like, hey, we'll wait till then my shift. This is at 2:00 when I find out that I'm being fucked. Her shift is done at 6 in.
Damn.
I'm hungover. We wait. I'm hanging out there for 3 hours. By that time, I'm hungover. I'm tired. Like, it's not. My night's not going how I thought it would. Hey. So, she takes me back to her place. She happens to, and this is the weird part, is that she lives with her. I don't know. I think it's like her boyfriend, ex-boyfriend. I'm not too sure. Point is, that dude is in a band. He's a cool guy. Every time I talk to him, he's super cool. But he also has like a girl. So there's 2 girls and 1 dude living under one roof, and they both are
probably in the process of banging that one guy.
Are gloving.
So you're in like a 1970s hippie commune.
It's weird. There's cats everywhere.
How many cats?
I lost track.
So
like 3.
Well, you see one cat, they're like ninjas. They do double team from Pokemon, and they just like, and I don't know which one's real anymore. So,
got it. Nerd reference.
Double team.
Double team, like those 2 girls do to that guy.
Nice.
Yeah, because it's one guy too.
Well, okay, so they're all like cool or whatever, except that the one of them's kind of like, she's a little weird to me. She's got like 4 piercings on her forehead.
What?
Yeah.
That is an inappropriate number of piercings to have on your forehead.
But they like line up. They like line up, so it looks like.
Wait, is she like Krillin?
Yeah, dude, I don't know. Yeah.
Is she Krillin from Dragon Ball Z? Only.
Oh my god!
2?
She was Krillin. Why didn't I say something?
So now we know what her name is. Her name is Krillin.
Yeah. So
Nikki Cage and Krillin, and then a 3rd guy
who we will call
Gumby.
So Krillin, Nikki Cage, and Gumby, who are all in.
This is an acid dream.
Sex.
This is a fever dream. This is an acid fever dream.
Somewhere Anthony Green's writing this song right now.
So, she has like the Raising the Bar piercings on her forehead, like 1, 2, 3, like that.
Yeah.
So I can't sleep because I fueled up on coffee, and so it's like I think 9:00 in the now. And everyone else just does some sweet drugs and passes out. I'm sitting there going, I'm good. I'm just going to chill here and try to sleep this off. I can't, though, because there's a gerbil of coffee running in a wheel in my head. So...
For those of you who couldn't follow that analogy, he had a lot of coffee.
I had a lot of coffee. It was the only way I could stay awake, to make sure I had a place to stay. Do you understand my plight? I'm bad at telling the story. But you got to understand, when you put it all together later, it's going to be like, wow, Jason, I feel so bad for you. I'm going to be like, yeah, bro, I know.
I've been through some stuff.
I'm too old for this shit. So it is now 2 p.m. in the afternoon. I'm still wide awake. I have sat on the couch, counting the cats, like counting sheep trying to go to sleep, but I can't. There's just so many cats.
All 3 of them.
I finally get home. I get a ride back at like 5 in the afternoon, which is about around the time where you hit me up.
So you got a ride to Underdog House. Right?
Underdog House,
That's where your car was.
Yes. My car was at the Underdog House, and I got dropped off around 5 p.m. because everyone there was just like, "Oh, I'll wake up whenever," and I was just like, I don't know these people that well, so I'll just be cool about it, I guess. So I get dropped off. And I'm like, oh, by the way, what's up with that chick and the dude? She's like, oh, she's into like, what's that fetish where they like hang people by hooks?
Oh God, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
I haven't gotten.
Yeah.
I haven't hit that
Meat
phase.
hooking?
I haven't got to that phase in my sexuality.
I believe they call that one meat hooking.
I'm actually kind of glad that, with the exception of Clint, none of us here really know the name of it. And I think Clint's just making up a name.
I'm making up a name, but I do know exactly.
I haven't gotten to that phase in my sexiness yet.
I feel like if you're going to end
I'll
up
get
doing
there
that...
eventually.
It's a sex swing, but it's composed of rings sticking out of someone's body.
I mean, eventually I'm gonna turn to a girl and be like, hey, baby, how about we, push?
How about we get you some Krillin fucking...
How about we stick...
How about we get you some Krillin piercings and hang you by them?
I feel like if you're going to do that, like the guy at the bottom like has to dress up like Rocky, like he's about to do some boxing.
You know what?
Wow.
Look, I know.
That's why there's 3 people in the sex triangle, because one of them is the meatbag.
I know
that
we've been
gets punched.
together for a long
One
time.
of them's Rocky,
So
and then the third person is fucking Polly, who's just like, come on, Rocky.
So I feel like now's the time in our relationship where we should stick fish hooks through my dick. And
Oh my
just see
God.
what happens,
You
you know.
lost me now. I don't want to be a part of
That's
this.
what it was. That's what she was into. Like hanging, like stomping on dudes'
Hanging
nuts.
brain by actually hanging brain?
Yes, hanging out.
Damn.
Yeah, like blood and like punching dicks and shit. Anyways,
Yeah, so that Rocky
so
thing wasn't that far
I
off.
basically I crashed in a crazy house, woke up, got home by 5. That's when you guys I think
They
hit me
didn't
up.
pierce your dick, did they?
I
Did you go
just
to
checked. I haven't checked.
Did you like pee and you're like, there's 3 streams?
I
They didn't leave the piercing in, but they took out that part.
was like, whoa, that's 1 stream more than normal.
All right.
I've been to some. All right, so that happened. Then I think you guys hit me up, and then I was like, hey, I just went on a fucking odyssey. Can't do. I tried. I really thought about it. I was like, should I go over there and do the podcast? No, I'll sound like a crazy person more than I do right now.
Because you hadn't slept yet.
Yeah, zero sleep. So, and I forgot to mention that I was sick. So I didn't go to bed the night before the show till 12 in the afternoon. So I'm like a zombie, basically.
So at that point, you got home and you crashed.
Crashed hard.
So
21 hours of sleep.
when I found out about what was going on, I had no context for. I had a big crazy night and all this other crap. The only thing that I knew was that I had called Mike, who lives at the Underdog House, to be like, hey man, like, you don't know how to get in touch with Jason, do you? And Mike, being the awesome guy he is, took it upon himself to call Kate. So he called her up without me asking to just be like, hey man, where's Jason? Is he cool? Like, because I guess maybe Mike was maybe even a little worried about you because he hadn't seen you since the night before.
Yeah.
I get a text back from Mike maybe 10, 15 seconds after I had asked him where you were at or if he knew where you were. And he goes, I just got off the phone with Kate, and she said that she just got off the phone with his mom and that he's at home asleep. That was all I was told. So I was just kind of like, oh, okay, so that motherfucker's just sleeping. and
Fuck these guys.
And since he has no phone, I can't call him 100 times to wake his ass up. I guess he just doesn't want to come and do the cast today. So then we got here, and I was like...
Oh, y'all believe that story I just told?
I was just super conflicted, because I was like, part of me wants to really do the podcast, but part of me is like, I don't want to, like, have his friends do stuff and have him feel like his feelings get hurt, because oh man, Jesse got to be on the show, what? You replaced me?
Phasing me out, bro?
And so, it was, I don't know, it was very conflicting emotions, and then we got here, and of course, every time me and David show up, we always get here before you, and you always are like, oh yeah, no, I'm going to tell the guys that we're going to go do the podcast, and then we get here, and they're like, oh, y'all are coming over? Jason didn't tell us. So every time we show up, we just always feel like, oh, sorry that we imposed and just showed up at your house.
I don't believe in
Communication?
Yeah, I really don't.
We don't need no communication.
Is that why you threw your phone away? You're
Yeah.
like, fuck communication.
I hate stereotypical communication devices! Ugh!
I hate being able to talk to you through a device so you can hear what I say and we can interchange thoughts. That's just bullshit. I don't do
Wow. Okay. Great story, bro. Let's
Yeah.
give him a round of applause.
that. Oh, okay.
Good job.
Well, now you know why.
All right.
At least you know why now.
So now we know why we're doing this instead of a story one, which I'm having fun. I don't want you to think for a second that, like, this was, I don't even like it. Come on. You're doing it good.
No, it's actually your turn to tell the story. Tell
All
your
right,
story.
so
tell us a story
I'm
about...
going to tell you guys.
You wanna tell something
a
recent?
story. I don't know if I have anything hilarious. I mean, I have like something really short that happened recently. Like last night, me and David got really drunk and watched the movie Revolver, and then had like a 5-hour conversation about
dear God.
the semantics of an external enemy versus a perceived external enemy.
Real smoking weed?
No, we were just drunk as shit for at least the first 2 hours of it, and then
know,
after that, our
can I make a
stubbornness kicked
suggestion?
in, and we just couldn't stop.
And I just had like a
arguing.
horrible hangover in the middle of it, so it was just like I was getting more frustrated and wanted to just be like, "Look, fine." At the end, I was like, "I'm going to bed, or I'm gonna die."
They say...
Either I'm about to admit defeat and just be like, you win, or I'm going to bed and I'll feel a little bit better about myself because I didn't cave. But that I mean, like, that's a super short story, but if you guys want to hear, like, I guess a real ass story, Let's see. Let me pull from the history banks of me because I've got only about 8 trillion.
They say we smoke weed and you talk a lot, but I mean I think it's to the contrary. I think if y'all had that conversation on weed, it'd be like this. What do you think about this? I don't fucking care. Good night.
Yeah, I would have been
Well, no, if we'd been
that's
high-
exactly it. I would have been like, I don't care. Where are the motherfucking donut holes? I am starving.
Had we been high, it would have been like, hey man, that was really cool. Yeah, that was really cool. I feel like that's this way. I see what you're saying. I kind of think that it's like this. That's cool.
Yeah.
Like, there would have been no desire to have an actual debate about it at all. It would have just been like, argument over. Nobody cares.
Are my hands real?
Basically.
Are hands real? The concept.
So, all right, the story that's kind of sticking out in my head right now is one from when I was like young. I was maybe like 9 or 10, and in Texas, there's a really big church, and I don't mind saying the actual name of it because people might know.
No, we gotta
can make
give
up names for other stuff, but the church, everybody can know the name of this church because
We can
that's
make up names.
for me. This is like not a big deal. You guys can make up names for everything else.
Putting his foot down.
So I grew up going to this church called Prestonwood, and if you live anywhere around here, you know Prestonwood. It's like this huge freaking church. Like,
Can we call it the Baptidome from now on?
The Baptidome. That's what people call it. Or Six Flags Over Jesus. Shit
Oh,
like that.
dude, is that the like huge like they do like
Yeah.
invent the what am I trying to say?
Sunday
The
at
giant
the
like they
Baptidome.
do the church channel from there, right?
No.
No.
Okay.
Maybe nowadays. I don't know. But so
It's got a gift shop in it.
yeah. Well, it's got 3 gift shops in it. But
Yeah,
they're not called gift shops. They're called bookstores because they sell Bible stuff. So, and they also have like a
Shake my fucking head.
huge cafeteria type thing that they call the Commons. That's like a restaurant.
yeah.
So-
I did some like sound work there.
So like I have gone to church, or well, when I went to church all the time, I went to church there for most all my life. And before it was that huge, gigantic church, it was a smaller church that was over on some other streets. And now that's like a weird private school. But so basically what happened was my family is incredibly Christian. My parents are my dad is so Christian that he spent most of his life in a gospel quartet that my grandpa started. My mom is so Christian that I went to church like every Sunday, whether I wanted to or not. And my sister used to be so Christian that she was in like every freaking church musical in the history of time, to the point that my grandparents to this day still call her Angel. And love my sister to an annoying extent. Like, oh, come on, Angel, we just want you to come over here. And my sister's like at that age now where she's like, oh, Grams and Art, stop wanting to hang out with me.
Are you the family favorite? Or
No, dude, I am super black sheep, like hardcore. My sister is super jealous because like my parents don't really expect much out of me, but they expect so much out of her. And I'm just kind of like, sweet, I don't have to talk to anybody in my family for like 2 months, and they'll still think that I'm alive. But because I didn't talk to anybody in like a couple of weeks, they'll be like, what the hell?
That's my family strategy. Just set the bar really low.
Yep. Well, so because my sister was in every musical that they ever did ever.
Yeah.
When I started to get old enough to be in their little musicals, my mom had me. I was in choir and stuff, and so I started doing that. Well, there was a musical, and you guys can make up a name for it. I don't care. What was the name?
PP Town.
PP Town. So the last musical.
So for like Jesus Christ Superstar or something. No, PP Town.
Jesus Christ PP Town.
So Jesus Christ PP Town. So the last musical that they were going to be doing at Prestonwood.
You're in for a treat.
The last musical they were going to do in Jesus Christ, or sorry, at Prestonwood, before they moved into the big new building, was going to be called Jesus Christ PP Town. And Jesus Christ PP Town was very based in the premise of the play was about how In God We Trust is on the $1 bill, and people were trying to like get that off of it because they're like, oh, religion and government, whatever. And so the whole musical was just like little kids being brainwashed to be like, well, I totally think that this is a good thing that it's on there. And it's like, that's literally what that whole musical was about. So
yeah.
in Jesus Christ PP Town, everybody who's
Did they
in the
do
choir-
the full production? Like, was it like crazy?
Oh, like it was a whole big thing, yeah.
Like it's like an event. Right?
It was like a real play.
Like everyone knows about it. Like family and friends show up.
Yeah. And so what happened was there was in the choir, you'd stand up in these big, huge lofts that are like, you know, like 1,000-person choir loft, or like probably more than that. Like probably at least like maybe 1,500 people just in the choir, not even in the audience.
Yeah, if I remember anything about that place, it's like
well, so
it was a cathedral.
Yeah, like the choir stands are like huge. And every kid who's in the choir, which is basically any kid who wasn't special enough.
What do you got to say about this, David?
All right,
that's
gonna
enough.
stay a
That's
little
that's
silent about this church.
Yeah.
That's enough out of you.
So basically, what went down was that there was every kid was in this choir who wasn't special enough or talented enough or had their parents positioned properly.
Remember,
enough
Jesus
in-
thinks you're special in every way.
Well-
Except you. You're going to be the rock, number 3 in this scene.
No, what it was is it was more like, oh, your dad's a deacon and you happen to love to sing. Of course you can be Betsy Ross. Or like, oh, your dad is like, you know, the guy who runs the choir department. Well, of course you can have whatever part you want.
Yeah.
So unless you were like part of a legacy of people who were important to the church, you really didn't get like anything other than just being in the choir.
That's
If
so
you're in the
fucked up.
choir, you had to stand in these big, huge lofts.
Church is fucked up.
And the way that what you had to wear was everybody had to wear like blue jeans and like a white T-shirt, and then we had these vests that they gave us, and these vests were made out of sequins. Now nowadays,
Do you still have it?
no, they kept them.
Can you put it on for me?
Nowadays, I know that like women have perfected the sequins technology to
What?
be like fucking perfect. But if you remember like '90s sequins,
Well-
it was just shit that like fell off.
Can't say it was really in the sequence game back in the 90s.
If you remember anything about ever being in anything
I
embarrassing
ate
as a
Dunkaroos and
child-
played Pokemon. I don't remember anything.
You never just put on like a full suit of
Wait.
sequins and just.
I ate Dunkaroos
Spirit
and played
fingered?
Pokemon. I don't remember anything embarrassing about being a kid in the 90s. Okay, good statement.
Oh, I'm sorry. Wait, are you saying that that's not cool?
Dunkaroos are horrible.
No, they were amazing.
Can I say
Dunkaroos
something
are
to you?
I would eat them right now if I had some.
I say
The
this-
chick, the sticks with the cheese were awesome. Dunkaroos were,
No.
This guy over here with
Yeah.
the cheese sticks.
yeah, dude, the cheese sticks were awesome.
Dunkaroos.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Do we wake up in a world where dipping bread in chocolate's not tasty?
Dude, gross, man.
Whether bread, it was like crackers.
Yeah. It was crackers.
It was animal crackers that you dipped in like retardedly bad chocolate.
Dude, I'm so. Can we
The
go to
vanilla cream
Walmart?
would be
Can I get some
Down the
Dunkaroos? Do
street?
they even still sell them?
What? I mean, let's get like the.
That's like, do you remember the juices
let's get like the
that you
Paco.
get
Let's
that
get
were
Paco.
like,
Pocky or Paco? What's it called? Pocky?
Yeah, Pocky.
Yeah, let's go get
no, remember
Pocky.
they used to make those juices, and they were the ones that had
Pickle?
They had the juicy ones that looked like
Juicy
they were-
juice?
No, they looked like they were in barrels.
Oh.
Why
Like
are we
Sam's
talking about
Club, and you rip
sequins?
those off and be like, yeah. Well, okay, so here's the thing about sequins.
Because Clint loves sequins, dude.
In the 90s,
Oh, yeah.
in the 90s especially, because I was in a lot of choir productions from my church, because my parents were like,
Hello.
my parents were like very adamant in the church, and they wanted me to be a part of it. So, in that era, when you had to wear something that was sequency, it'd be the equivalent of like how people make fun of glitter now, where they're like, "Oh, glitter ends up everywhere," and it's fucking like that's how you know somebody's been with a stripper and shit.
It's the herpes of,
That's what
of
fuck,
crafts.
yeah, and it's like that's what
It
fucking
is.
sequence was back then. Like if you moved in sequence, fucking NASA saw that shit from space because it was just like, shh.
What? What's that? Yep, we're picking up some interference from this guy.
We're picking about 10,000 kids all wearing sequence vests, moving and slowly being super happy that no one's phone has camera capabilities.
Oh, and with the
We have a problem.
10,000 lights that church has just
Oh, yeah.
beaming down on you like
So-
you're
oh,
a
yeah.
piece of meat at a cafeteria.
So everything that we wear
Searing
is our
antennas
own
off cockroaches.
clothes, except for these vests. And these vests stay on these like coat rack things, and then before you go out, you have to put the vest on, and you go out there. Well, we go out there and we're doing our thing, we're singing our songs or whatever, and there's this just terrible douchebag of a kid
Douche.
named.
What a douche. Am I right,
He
Mikey?
named the play Jesus Christ People Town.
Hey, douche.
What was the name of the kid?
The name of the kid will be
Clint Tony.
Joey Pizza.
Joey Pizza. All right, so Joey Pizza is sitting behind me.
You about that Joey Pizza kid?
You gonna
Fucking-
go with me and some guy who's not even named Joey Pizza?
You going with them Joey Pizza?
Is that how he talked?
That was not Joey Pizza talk. No,
No.
that wasn't how this kid talked. I don't
Come
think
over,
this
have a
kid did.
cannoli, have a caniche.
So, Kanish. All right, so
Capiche?
what went down was that
He's
this
in choir. He's got a
kid,
rhyme.
He wears sequins, it's nice.
this kid was behind me in the lofts or like in like the big choir rack stands, and basically we're up there. We've already had our intermission. We come back. This is like the last bit of the play, and I'm standing
You
there.
nailed
and
your part.
I didn't have any part. I just sang with the rest of the choir.
He did the whole
But
watermelon.
you nailed
trick.
it.
He did the
Thanks.
watermelon trick, dude. You know, like
No, I wasn't there. I didn't say. I don't know. I
That was
don't.
invented in the 90s, so yeah.
I asked him if he nailed it, and he said thanks.
Oh, no, I thought you said, and you nailed it. Like, good job, buddy.
It's a question.
I guess, yeah.
No, you don't want to nail things
I
when
didn't
you're
nail
singing
it.
about Jesus Christ.
We're getting to it. I didn't nail it. I didn't nail
Just
it.
pull on your collar.
I didn't nail it, but we're getting to what did happen. So basically, what
You nailed
goes down-
You nailed the chick behind the.
Dude, I was like 10. So
Yeah, high five.
this kid who's sitting behind me.
He's like, no.
Every time that we stand up, he's doing this thing where like he puts all his weight on one leg and then like lets his other leg just kind of do that. Mm-hmm. And as he's
Jazz
doing
leg.
that, no, he's not doing it for anybody to see it. You can't see it. I'm in front of him.
Yeah.
And he's not tall enough behind me on that riser to be anywhere but his leg is right at the level to where when he's doing that, he's kicking me in the back of my knee.
Ugh.
So he'll kick me in the back of my knee and he'll do that thing where like my weight will be on that leg and all of a sudden you'll just see me go and like jerk down.
What a
So I start telling this kid,
Alright, don't say it anymore.
all right, so this little he ruined everything because this kid starts kicking me in the leg. Bam, bam.
Yeah.
I'm like, stop, kicking me in the leg. Cut it out, man. Kicking me in the leg. Won't stop.
I know my rights.
Keep doing it. And I'm getting mad, like real mad. And back then, when I was like a little kid, I had huge anger issues. Like nowadays, as an adult, you really can't make me mad. Like you'd have to like fucking do something terrible to me.
Sure.
Like that would cost me money for me to actually be like mad. But like if you were just like, oh, like I'm poking you and shit, I'd be like, come on, man, cut it out. Like let's talk about this because I'm a grown up now. Like, but when I was a kid, I had like furious fucking rage. So this kid keeps kicking me. He does this for like maybe 5 to 10 minutes straight.
Yeah.
Finally, I just lose it. And I turn around and start beating the shit out of this kid. I tackled him to the ground and start beating
You beat the shit out of Joey Pizza.
fucking piss out of Joey Pizza.
He had no more cheese left.
If the play hadn't been called Pee Town, it was definitely called that now because this kid peed his pants. I kicked his ass so bad.
You beat the pepperoni.
I beat the pepperoni and the piss right out of Joey Pizza.
Wow.
This is a terrible. Ugh.
So and this is in
It's not
front of-
delivery. It's DiGiorno.
If you don't
pepperoni
know-
and piss.
If you don't know,
Delicious.
if you don't understand the size of the congregation, there's like almost 10,000 people sitting in this audience watching these kids sing these crappy songs about.
Did anyone
vaudeville.
record this like on tape?
So we're getting to that part too.
Oh, okay.
So I'm beating the shit out of this kid, and all of a sudden, the big finale of the musical is that this big American flag comes and closes in the back, and everybody's supposed to be singing this song. It's like, in God we trust, blah, 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 in God we trust. And so I see the flag, like I blacked out. I don't remember beating the shit out of this kid for as long as I did. But I know that when I started beating him up,
I've never gone on like a
I know that when I started beating him
white
up,
rage.
we were not that close to the end of the play. And whenever I looked up, the fucking flag was coming out, which is the end. So as soon as I saw the flag, I was like, oh shit. And I got up and I was like, God, we just and something watermelon. I don't know what's wrong. I hope nobody noticed.
Watermelon.
And like, afterwards, my parents, my mom and dad are divorced. My dad got to me second. My mom got to me first, and her whole half of the family, they had fucking awesome seats. Like, they were like down in the front rows, right there, watching everything. And my mom comes up to me and she's like, I've never been more disappointed in you. I've never been more angry.
I'm not mad. I'm just disappointed.
I've never been so incredibly mortified.
Fuck me, I hate that.
To be like, I mean, she just like laid it on thick. Like, you have embarrassed this family. You embarrassed yourself. You embarrassed me.
What would Jesus
She's
do
like, she was like
in this
fucking
situation?
furious. She's like, you're gonna be grounded for the rest of your life. Like, I can't believe you do that.
You're still grounded
My
to this
dad-
day. He's still grounded to this day.
My dad comes up to me not more than like a couple minutes
better hurry
later,
up and get home. It's
and my
almost
mom
midnight.
has like walked away because she didn't even want to look at me. My dad comes up to me and he goes, son, I want you to know that we were sitting, like my dad had bad seats. He was sitting like on the top balcony right next to like the side that separates where the fucking choir thing starts. So he's sitting like over here in the stands. And he comes up to me and goes, son, I want you to know where we were sitting. I saw that kid kicking you. And he goes, and his response to that was and I gotta tell you, no, his, straight up what he said is he goes, and you're a bigger man than I am because I would have beat him up a lot faster than you did. Like, he was basically like, you waited like 10 minutes to kick this kid's ass. I would have started doing it on kick 2. Like,
Nice.
My dad was just like, And all my dad's family was sitting up there too, so they all saw it. And like my grandma, who's like super straight-laced Christian.
So what's the moral of the story? What's the moral of the story?
The moral of the story is that if you're gonna kick the shit out of some kid, make sure your dad's sitting in the cheap seats.
You kick some ass.
But so
it's what Jesus would do.
This is kind of the
For America.
This is
For
kind
America.
Of, the
Woo!
This is like the little last of that story, and this is kind of like the outro of it because this is the follow up to how that ended. So the way that Prestonwood used to do these things is that whenever there were musicals, they would always have video cameras all throughout the thing. There were big professional video cameras that they used for the service, and they record the whole thing. And after about a month after the musical, they'd edit it all, and they'd come up with a VHS. Then you could take the VHS and watch it and see the musical, and it would be like almost professionally done of like a play. And it was really cool. My sister has every single one of the ones that she was ever in, and we have that on video so that I can sit there and be like, ha ha, you were in a play that had a character who was an alien who'd be like, my name is Mort. And that's a real thing.
Yes.
And it's fucking hilarious. But so they never came out with a video for Jesus Christ Pee Pee Town because
it was too
the
good.
second I started kicking that kid's ass, every kid in sequence vests turned about a 45-degree angle to watch me fucking shit kick this kid. And it was like a wave of sequency like wind chimes. Every kid all
Just
of a
imagine
sudden...
like grandma came to see the show. She's like, "Oh, that's so pretty."
Like every
They must have
fucking-
practiced that.
Every fucking kid simultaneously went shh and started looking at me beat the fucking piss out of this kid for like 25 minutes.
Wow.
And that's not the worst part. The reason why it was so bad is because not only did all the kids go, but all the video cameramen either couldn't get a shot that didn't have me beating the shit out of this kid, or they were drawn to it instinctively and were like, oh my god, and like zoomed in.
Dang.
And the only upside to any of this is that this was so early on in the 90s that there wasn't like, people weren't posting lots of shit. Like now, if that happened
If you
nowadays,
can find that video, you need to show it to me.
if that happened today, and it was like my kid did that in a musical or something, that would be on like fucking like Reddit and 4chan and like every fucking website
Clint
that takes
Jr.?
up videos.
Yeah.
It'd be on Vine and it'd be everywhere. Because it would be recorded on like 6 trillion little fucking phone cameras.
Yeah.
Because it happened back then, nobody had cell phones with fucking video cameras and shit.
is true.
And so I got to live that shame out for all of like the month that I was in trouble for it. And then like an additional 2 weeks whenever my mom found out that they couldn't release a video for it because of my fight.
Yeah, you just don't get in trouble like you don't get in trouble like you do now. 'cause
The moral of the story,
it's
though, is that because I got in that
demoralized.
fight, the best part is, because I got in that fight, my mom never expected anything out of me again when it came to church shit, ever. So
Nice.
I was never expected to be in musicals or plays because my mom was pretty
I
much
should've
constantly
done
like, oh, you're just going to fight. Why would I even have you be in there? You just ruin it with a fight or some shit.
I should have done that. All right, so we're at 42. I think like 42 minutes.
Yeah, you know, we got enough time for you to do a quick story. If you
Yeah,
wanna
no,
tell us
I'm.
about it.
So you want to run this to the hour and then
Yeah, let's run to the hour and then
we got stuff to do.
Yeah.
I have a short story.
I bought an apple. End of story.
Yeah, David, you've been
Damn, that was a great story, David.
Mr. Quiet over here.
Yeah.
Wait, what was the name of the apple? I don't know, Joey Apple. Okay.
All right.
My back hurts.
So
Now let me give you some dopamine so that you calm down. You're too hyper.
Side story. I want to watch Dragon Ball Z all the way. I haven't yet. All right, go.
all right, you ready for my story?
Yep.
All right. So when I was a little kid, I used to live in LA,
Oh wow,
and
Hollywood.
fucking big shot over here.
Wow.
and so I
Think
lived.
you're better than me,
Joey
Because
Pizza.
Your name's not fucking Joey Pizza.
So my mom like worked like 3 or 4 jobs to pay for my dad who was going to med school.
Make sure you let the people know about your mom's shortcoming. That she's British.
Oh yeah, that's part of the story.
Okay.
So my mom is British.
So sorry.
So she was a
Are
nurse.
you sure your mother's British?
I'm very sure. And so we're in like the shittiest part of LA because we can barely afford anything, and we go to get donuts, and donuts is like a super awesome treat for us. So we go and we walk to the donut store from our apartment.
What year is this, you old ass man? Well, this was back in the roaring 20s of.
It was
of
late 80s.
late 80s.
Late 80s.
Yeah.
Ladies.
So we walked to the donut store. Nice little Asian couple working there. They give us donuts.
Because he said we walked to the donut store, and I was like, did they not have cars?
In LA?
We had
In LA, I guess not.
Yeah, I mean, I don't even remember if we had a car back then.
Were you wearing...
A little boy's sailor outfit.
Yeah, what are you asking?
Yeah, where are you going with this?
Wearing...
What were you wearing? What are you wearing?
I'm gonna go
Well,
back.
I put on my robe and my
I'm gonna go
wizard
back
hat.
to my tablet now.
Are you gonna start breathing heavily? Like,
Is it cool if I'm on my...
no, dude, pay attention to my story, asshole.
I'm gonna look up what I'm...
But Netflix is
Hold on,
so
I gotta look.
entertaining.
Keep telling the story. I'm gonna look up what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
Okay, so we get our donuts, and on the way walking back home, this dude pushes me over
Okay.
and like rips my
This
mom's
guy's
purse.
name will be Charlie Monkey Bones.
I haven't got to do
All
one
right.
yet.
Yeah, you did fucking PB Town.
That's fine. You can name the cop later.
I like
She's great.
So what was his name again? Charlie Monkey Bones.
Charlie Monkey Bones.
Safety pins and vests and a sleeveless vest. Were you wearing a
Were you
sleeveless
wearing
vest
sleeveless vests?
and safety pins?
No.
He was not a punk in the 80s.
I was
He
like 4.
Did you listen to a lot of Safety Dance?
I didn't really listen to music at all. We couldn't afford it. Back then, you couldn't just get Spotify for free. You had to like get like an 8-track
to
or
actually
something.
buy.
Combat boots and like plaid pants.
I wore whatever.
Were you literally looking up on your tablet late 80s trendy clothing?
I'm trying to remember what the fuck I was trying to say.
I pretty much wore what was ever gifted down to me.
No, but I guarantee you back in the 90s you wore a lot of flannel. You probably more Nirvana. All that shit.
No, dude.
I don't know, it was 90s.
Yeah. That's when he was a teenager.
You saying 80s?
No, that's when he was a like fucking 4-year-old.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
When he was actually developing, he was like grunge music.
Developing.
Man, motherfucking Seattle and shit.
Developing.
I was like 4. This guy Charlie Monkey Bones pushes me over. For some reason, like I always called him the Lemon Man. I don't really know why, but he.
The Lemon Man is so much better than Charlie Monkey
That
Bones.
is like a...
He is now the Lemon Man.
I think I've seen that horror movie on Netflix.
But he was like this black dude, and so my mom is
He's
very.
a black dude named the Lemon Man?
Yeah, I don't know why.
No.
You're gonna get a sour taste in your mouth.
Right?
That's when you run into the Lemon Man.
The Lemon Man this summer.
Coming
Wesley
this fall.
Snipes is the Lemon
Only
Man.
this summer.
So he pushes me over, takes my mom's purse, and then just starts running off. My mom is like
The
actually.
Lemon Man was a fucking purse thief?
Yeah.
I did not see that coming.
Bad form, Lemon Man. Bad form.
Bad form, Lemon Man.
So my mom is actually kind of an aggressive person, so she ran after him, and she's pregnant with my brother at the time.
What?
That's badass.
Yeah.
Oh,
So,
so crazy.
so she's chasing after him, and then realizes, oh
Get-
shit,
get
I just
away
left
from
my
me.
4-year-old on the ground. I better go back.
I got so caught up with mom adrenaline chasing after this Lemon Man.
Yeah.
You were in the purse?
No. I was on the ground. Like I got.
Were you the world's smallest man?
I got like pushed down, and then
You have a really good growth
No,
spurt?
he was a Chihuahua and his mom was Paris Hilton.
Weird.
yeah. So she comes back,
Late
gets
80s.
me.
Ladies. Ladies, for short.
Yeah, alright.
So she comes back, she gets me. Our donuts are ruined, so we go back to the donut store.
Our donuts are ruined.
They were destroyed.
This is your story about how you just really like donuts?
One time my mom chased after a Lemon Man and we had donuts.
I love donuts, dude. So we go back, and
Lemon Man.
you can name the donut store.
Okay.
For Halloween next year, I'm going to be the Lemon Man. It's going to happen.
Let's call it the Do Nots.
The Do Nots. Okay.
The Do Not store?
Okay. All right.
Not store.
Do or do not.
They exclusively sell donuts and signs that have giant circles with lines.
Let's call it do or do not. There is no try.
All right. Fine. Do or do not.
Do or donut, there is no try.
Do or donut. There is no try. We go back there, and
That's the nerdiest name for a fucking donut store ever.
And so my mom is from England, so she's trying to get the Asian couple to call the police, but she didn't know the number. So she tries to get them to dial 999. Doesn't work. That's not a number
now
here.
It's a new number. 0811999.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Wait, is like 911 like different?
In England, it's 999, and then on a show that he recently made me watch, like on the second episode, the joke is that For your convenience, we've now changed the number from 999 so that you'll stop thinking that it's 911. And instead, the new number is like 12 numbers long.
Yeah.
And they make up a little jingle to help you remember it. And it's like, 08119999457312.
Yeah. No, but I mean, like, is like, for real, what is it in...
999.
It's 999.
Okay.
So she didn't know the number here is 911.
Yeah.
And the funniest part was she asked the like Asian couple, well, what's the number for the police? They also didn't know the number of the police. So we had to get a phone
Wait,
book.
donut shop. We don't know. Why do you think we would know?
So they had to get a phone book, and we had to look up the number for the police in the phone book.
Wait, as a 4-year-old, did you not pull your mom aside and be like, Mom, in school they taught me it's 911?
I had no idea what was going on.
Oh,
so.
like you didn't realize, like had you known that they were looking for the number for the police,
Yeah.
you'd be like, Mom, it's 911. They taught me that in school.
Yeah.
In elementary motherfucking school.
Elementary.
So what they had done is they like gave us, like they basically gave us our donuts again.
Okay.
And I was sitting there just eating them while they were trying to
They
figure out
gave
how
you
to call.
extra ones as an apology for not knowing fucking 911.
Was
No,
it
for
the Wonder Years?
Getting pretty much her purse stolen. So we finally call the police, and
They're like,
you get to name the officer.
Officer, it was Officer Barbrady.
Officer Bob Brady.
Okay, so he comes,
Oh, come on, guys.
and we do a drive around, and he's asking me for a description, and all I can tell him is that it's the Lemon Man.
Tip top.
All you can tell him is that it's the Lemon Man.
And my mom's like trying to give him a description of this black dude, and I'm just like, no, it's the Lemon Man. Just find the Lemon Man. So we're driving around. Is that the Lemon Man?
Wait, what
no,
compelled
that's
you
a
to-
black guy. Is that the Lemon? No, that's a black guy. And so he knows he's a black guy, and that was retarded. And so we never found the guy, but
We never found the guy, but he lived fat and happy for a day and a half on heroin before he died.
Late 80s,
Oh,
early 90s.
I'm
David.
sure